What's up? Guess just like been having some like thoughts circulate about a bunch of different things, but instead of being like all over the place, I'm just going to talk about one of the more recent ones. I actually just posted something on Instagram where like it's about how like self-love isn't just all the positive things you do, but it's also about being honest about the negative things too. And so, hello. And so, hi. And so it's also being honest about the things that are toxic, that you're either deciding or feeling or doing or thinking, because that is the first step to changing it, okay? Is you have to admit and accept that that's the truth, and that is exactly what you have been doing, that you thinking or doing or being this way is attracting the consequences that come with it, because everything has consequences. I see this every day, literally. I see it every day, and like, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about, although I have a history of it too, we all do, but like I see this every day where like people make bad decisions, or they make decisions that are not, I don't want to say bad, okay? Just not making decisions that like are in your actual best interest, like, hello, like not making decisions that are like conducive to creating a better you, you know? Hello. And so, and then when the consequences of those decisions manifest in your life and they're now in your reality, that's when people want to question, like, how did this get here? How did this happen? And it's so-and-so's fault. And they start finding any external, anything external to blame it on, and it doesn't make any sense. Instead, I think what we should be doing is observing our own behaviors and seeing how those behaviors are actually allowing for these consequences to happen, because that is a much stronger and more productive way to go about it and to perceive it, okay? Because if all we're doing is perceiving things with who did what to us, and if they didn't do this, I wouldn't have to, or whatever, things like that, where anything external outside of you is to blame, you take away your own power, okay? Let's just be honest. You're taking away your own power to change things, because you're basically putting the power in someone else's hands, saying that it's so-and-so's fault, and if they would have done this, then I would or wouldn't be here, or feel this, or decide this and that. So you're basically saying it's John Doe's power to change my circumstance because it's his fault, instead of you saying, no, I let John Doe or Jane Doe do this or say this, or I was around this person, or maybe I said this to this person. Something along the lines of your involvement as well in whatever happened that led to your consequences that you're experiencing now. There's a girl, and I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm not saying her name, but I know her and I care about her. I do. And I keep my distance, because that's what's going on in her life is just not a match of anything that's going on in my life. And I worked hard to get where I'm at. It's pretty healthy and a good track. But I care about her. And basically her situation in a nutshell is that the bad decisions and the consequences are basically like, she has a so-called, boyfriend, and this guy is completely toxic. There's nothing about this guy that I've heard so far that could signal to like something healthy or normal or anything like that. It's just straight toxic, like toxic. But yet she continuously lets him back in her life. Her health is vastly declining. It's at a point where it's just very concerning. And that's just two of the issues I'm seeing, okay? Now, this boyfriend is not a necessity. We all know this. You don't need to be with anyone. So I don't see that as something that, like, if someone is toxic, you should still keep them around. I don't believe in that. Not anymore. Maybe in my early 20s with my self-sabotaging behavior, I would have. I do not believe in that. I do not believe that, like, we have to keep people around that are not good for us. I really believe that who you choose to be around is a strong indicator of your own, of where you see your self-worth and how you value yourself. So if someone is being completely toxic and you're still letting them back in your life, clearly that's a signal to me you don't know your own worth. You're not taking the time out to be by yourself, to really get to know yourself, to get to a point where you love and appreciate yourself. And so out of that root of lack of self-love is going to come out a lot of bad decisions. Now, when someone actually takes the time to be by themselves and actually get to know themselves and appreciate who they are and really like and get comfortable with themselves, when you could be by yourself and not be bothered of being by yourself, you are now coming into a place where, like, you're becoming a more stable individual. You need to be by yourself. And that's just the start of it. Out of that comes other things that start to come up that need your attention, that are within you, like things that need to heal. And when you start to do the work, then you start valuing your decisions. And when you start valuing your decisions, you make better decisions. You surround yourself with better people. You're more selective. The people around you have to have a positive purpose. At very minimum, have to respect your boundaries. It can't be anything to where any kind of consequence of their behavior affects you negatively. That's got to go. So you really start to value yourself. You really start to look at yourself and be like, you know, I'm worth the peace that I seek for. I'm worth the good health, and my body deserves my attention. My mind deserves my attention. My spirit deserves my attention. My mental health deserves my attention. I deserve my own attention. And it's not selfish, man. And if people call it selfish, maybe they're not there yet in their journey to really understand the importance of being that kind of selfish. And just choose wisely, man. Choose wisely who you have around you, who you choose to let influence you. Choose wisely your peace of mind when it comes to how you're choosing to respond or react to something, because those things affect you too. How you act towards others affects you too. It's not just them. It's not, I'm gonna get back at them. It makes you feel like a shitty person. So what you say, what you do, what you're thinking, the pattern of your decisions, all of these things really matter. And the person that it affects most is you. So I could say many things to her, but one of the things that I really want to put there is, like, just love yourself. Because without that, you're going to keep making these bad decisions, and you're going to keep messing up your health. You're going to keep choosing people that are not good for you due to the fact that you have unhealed wounds within yourself that you're seeking for someone else to put a band-aid on instead of you just doing the work. and honing in on yourself and just healing yourself. That way you break that pattern instead of continuing the pattern. It's one or the other. You can't have a good life with a bunch of unhealed trauma and unhealed emotions and unhealed thoughts that are going to keep manifesting bad decisions, but yet you're hoping for a good life. It doesn't work that way. I am so sorry to break that to you, but it just doesn't work that way. And you will shorten your life if you don't get your health in order. It's very concerning where you're at. And I do got love for you and I care about you. So I'm telling you, please get your health in order. If you wish to be around another 10 years at least, because where you're headed now, you're not going to be around for another few years. So please get that in order. And that's another form of self-love that a lot of people neglect, is their health. How do you say you love yourself if you're putting shit in your body that is harming your insides? How? It doesn't make any sense. Look at your body and be like, I love you, so I'm going to give you bullshit to run off of so that you can break down one day because I love you. That doesn't make any sense, guys. Take care of yourselves.